Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome back to the OC Health and Education Show. I'm your host, Julie Yip. Julie hôm nay có thời gian nói chuyện với Huyen Vi trong chương trình Hồi Nhật Song ngữ Việt Anh. Vi, thank you so much for talking to us about the dual language immersion program. I want to know if are there any events that are any programs in Orange County that are providing dual language immersion program even in the elementary school, or is it just only in the high school?
So there is one, two. The other major dual language program in Orange County is at DeMille Elementary. It is for TK to 6th grade, and that's with Westminster School District. So I actually highly recommend that program every chance I get. There's also one more in Garden Grove Unified, but I don't know as much about that one, and I believe they're only K through 2nd grade right now, if I remember correctly. We work more so with the Westminster School District simply because Dr. Renee Bryant started that program, and then she came over to Anaheim Union High School District and started our program. So that's why we are closer to them, just because of that old connection. So right now, then there are 3 dual language programs in Orange County. There are several other Vietnamese language programs at other high schools within Orange County, but they're not dual language, they're just Vietnamese language. And then, of course, a lot of temples and churches have Vietnamese on the weekends for the students to learn Vietnamese.
But what's the difference? Is it because it's a following the California educational curriculum? Is that different than what it is offered at the faith-based programs?
Yes, so in the high school level, then the language courses count towards the A through G graduation requirements, and students can use that to graduate high school, to transfer to college. So it counts towards their credits.
Okay, thank you. Thưa quý vị, hôm nay Huyen Vi nói thêm là trong cộng đồng Việt Nam của mình, trong quận Cam có 3 chương trình song ngữ. Trước nhất là ở Westminster School District, đó là học khu của Westminster, đó là từ KT tới lớp 8 phải không? Lớp 6. Yeah. And then học khu Garden Grove có là K to 2 là từ mẫu giáo tới lớp 2. And thêm nữa là Anaheim Union High School District. Hôm nay Huyen Vi nói thêm đó là 3 chương trình đây là chương trình song ngữ. Đặc biệt là chương trình song ngữ của high school đó là mấy em được có điểm để cho ra trường, mà mấy chương trình mà của faith based là nhà thờ, hoa chùa thì mấy cái đó là không có là college credit hoặc high school credit, phải không? Vâng. Huyen Vi nói thêm cho Julie biết là sau từng sau có cái chương trình gì thêm để cho gia đình của mình học hiểu được cái chương trình của Huyen Vi.
Dạ, kính thưa quý vị, 2 tuần nữa, tức là vào thứ Năm ngày 3 tháng 2 thì học khu trung học Anaheim trường Magnolia High School sẽ có một buổi họp online cho phụ huynh để biết thêm về chương trình song ngữ, và phụ huynh có thể mình sẽ họp online qua Google Meet. Thì một lần nữa, quý vị nào mà muốn tham gia buổi họp này, trên màn hình sẽ có cái flyer chiếu cho quý vị coi để quý vị biết thêm chi tiết. Nhưng mà đại khái là ngày 3 tháng 2, tức là thứ Năm, lúc 6 giờ chiều thì quý vị sẽ lên Google Meet để họp. Và trong cái buổi họp đó quý vị sẽ nói chuyện trực tiếp với lại Huyen Vi. Nên quý vị có những câu hỏi nào thêm về chương trình thì Huyen Vi có thể trả lời cho quý vị. Và chương trình thì nó có nhiều chi tiết khá dài, có 10 lớp tổng cộng. Cho nên là các em học sinh cũng sẽ được mời tham dự chương trình này. Học sinh mà đang học trong chương trình của Huyen Vi bây giờ, cũng như là phụ huynh hiện tại, và đương nhiên là những phụ huynh mới giống như là quý vị đang xem chương trình. Thì nếu mà quý vị cần cái direct link thì quý vị có thể nhắn tin cho Huyen Vi 657 200 8036. Huyen Vi sẽ gửi link cho quý vị và flyer cho quý vị để quý vị đến xem thêm về chương trình. Nhưng mà hôm nay Huyen Vi cũng sẽ nói thêm cho chị Julie sơ về chương trình để cho quý vị cũng có thể hiểu thêm một tí.
Vi, can you tell it as far as so families who are interested in your program, they can contact you, and what kind of information they need to provide to register for that meeting?
So for the meeting, since it's online Google Meet, I have it open to everybody. so anybody can join in the Google Meet. For the actual program, for the students to sign up, if they want to be a student, then our form is bit.ly/vidform. So bit.ly/vidform, and they can register more information. So it's a Google form, and then everything they need to input is on there. And then I will contact them to see which class they need to be placed in and the process for transferring to Magnolia High School so that they can be registered. And actually, in the previous years, we've had students transfer from other schools, other school districts as well. So we are definitely able to help them.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Bea, for the information. I'm just curious to know, what are percent of Vietnamese students and students who don't speak Vietnamese in your program? Because I would imagine, I think a lot of us, you know, when we live here and our kids don't really speak Vietnamese at home, we want our kids to be in the program, but is it open to everybody? And I'm just curious about, you know, what the percentage are of others.
Yes, so the program is open to everyone. We start the program in Viet 1, which is possible for the students to take Vietnamese 1 as a 7th grader.
Okay.
So if they take Viet 1 as a 7th grader, they can take up to Vietnamese 6 as a 12th grader.
Wow.
So 6 years of Vietnamese, that will make them learn Vietnamese pretty well. So that's our basic idea. We want the students to be able to have as many Vietnamese classes as possible, so that they truly obtain that fluency. Where a lot of times, like, you take a high school or some language course and then you take the beginner and then that's kind of it, right? You don't really learn as much. But we're really hoping for the students to be truly bilingual. So that's why we have so many Vietnamese classes, in the hopes that they stick with the classes the whole entire time, then they can be really fluent. So the idea is they take Vietnamese 1 and 2. Those are prerequisites. Okay. So when they take Vietnamese 1 and 2, they're only taking the language courses. Then when they get to Vietnamese 3, when their Vietnamese is a little bit better, then they can take the AP Computer Science Principles class in Vietnamese and English.
And so that's when the immersion part comes in. You know, and I love that part, because it's not just a language class. So the first 2 classes, they're learning the language, getting the intro, learning how to read and write, and just, you know, to greet each other, right? Have a small dialogue. But once they know how to do that, then you're going to add in the curriculum of other programs that are good. So is it going to be teaching, is it like a half in English and half in Vietnamese for a computer science class, for example?
Yes. So the computer science class is a separate class. They're still taking Vietnamese 3 as a separate class. So in the Vietnamese 3, they're continuing their language learning, and then in Vietnamese computer science, they're learning the material, but in both English and Vietnamese.
Okay.
So the idea is, if they get a job somewhere, like in Bosa, in Little Saigon, they should be able to use both languages to help you know, advance their career. Because we both know, like, if they are bilingual, that's easier for them to get a job, they get paid more, you know, things like that.
Yeah, and I think that's a great idea, because, you know, we're not just getting the kids ready to be able to interact with their families and their community, but also expanding their opportunities for employment. So thank you so much, Bea, for sharing all the information. Are there any other benefits that you think that you can think of that families would be interested in making sure that their kids are considering a program like this?
And when we decided on the program, like I said, of course we have all the language courses. So we have Vietnamese 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we have the other pathway that we could have chosen. But in talking and planning, we decided with computer science, because we believe that that's the future, right?
Yes.
So no matter what career the students are thinking about going into, they will still need computer science knowledge. So that's why we thought, like, okay, this is a good idea to go with computer science. And some students are like, oh, that's not my major. And we're like, no, whatever career you decide to go into, you still need to know computer science. You still need the
technology.
Yes, and the technology aspect of it. So that's why we believe this is so important. And it's good to point that out to the students when they're scared of, like, oh, I don't want to learn computer science. We're like, no, this is really good for you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Julie cảm ơn Huyen Vi và khán giả của Little Saigon TV. Hôm nay chúng tôi nói thêm về chi tiết về chương trình song ngữ của Anaheim Union High School District. Sau quảng cáo chúng tôi sẽ nói thêm về cái orientation, đó là thứ năm ngày 3 tháng 2. Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV.